in terms of another job was with another gentleman with Aston Martin. Um, Basically, he bought an Aston Martin from an auction. Um, the engine was dead, was water damaged. So, in terms of cost saving, we tried to match up the car as best as we could to its original factory spec. And what we noticed was once disassembly was done with the engine, so once I took apart the engine, we started matching part numbers. So from my experience, we used to use a program. It's called Heinz Pro and Autodata. Autodata is basically a parts list, a parts detailed list and diagram of different brands of cars and their engines, right down to circuitry, wiring diagrams, things like that. And we managed to match parts from the original Aston right to the original matching of different parts that are similar. Some are exactly the same. So what we noticed is that the engine block was from Range Rover, the Range Rover for supercharged. It's a 4.3 liter V8. And the only thing that's different, I would say, on the Aston Martin, in terms of it's a sports car, so it doesn't run like your average normal car with a wet sump. It uses a thing it's called a dry sump. So if you look under the engine, it will be flat. It won't have a bulge with a sump, a normal sump in it. So basically, what that means is that it's more lighter, it's more sleek looking, and it's more sportier for the car as well. So with a dry sump, we have an oil tank that's separate in the oil pump that pumps in the oil and lubricates the motor specifically. So what we noticed between the two blocks, according to what I had to explain to the engineers, is that when we use the Range Rover engine block, we had to customize and detail out. So I had to work with the machinist in the engineering department to remachine the engine block for the oil channels, for the water channels, and to make it a dry sump. So just a small changes, and then from that we moved on to we used the original Aston Martin cylinder heads, and we had customized gaskets made for it. I had customized gaskets made for it, and we reassembled that engine. Part of the electronics and the sensors that needed to be replaced, we managed to get those matched majority of the Ford parts. So we managed to get those parts at a much cheaper rate than original Aston Martin, I would say. So I would say in South Africa that would be almost 60 to 70% of the price, which is a huge savings for a customer. And we managed to buy and order the original timing tool from overseas, and we set the timing. We got all electronics exactly right, and today the client is happy. He's driving that car now every day. He loves the car now. He loves it quite a bit. And then from that customizing job, obviously, we've had other clients and other customers with their Aston Martins also. Okay, can you service this? Can you change a clutch for me? Can you do this? And it just brought in that different range of vehicles. So from your everyday cars that everyone is driving, your BMW, Mercedes, your VW, from your French cars, your Renault, your Citroen, your Peugeot, those sort of brands, to your Aston Martin, your Porsche, your Bentleys, things like that. So in terms of my experience, it's quite interesting to and it's quite fun to work on those sort of cars, and to have that into your workshop, it brings a lot of attention in terms of other customers. Like if he's working on those sort of cars, those expensive cars, my cars, it should be easy. And we actually had a spike in clientele After that, while we even had the Aston Martin on the lift and we were busy working on it, it brought in a lot of eyes and a lot of customers as well.